Hello you guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, you're watching BookedonCharity, and in today's video we are going to be going through my spring TBR, aka my end of the year TBR, because I've got about 32 books here to talk to you about, and that is not even including the library books that I will be reading on my Kindle once I finish the one I'm busy with. So yeah, I decided to do this video because I could not decide what I wanted to read like now, but I wanted to have kind of like a range of books to be able to pick from. And I decided, let me do a seasonal TBR. I never do seasonal TBRs. You guys know, if you've been here a while, that I usually do like monthly TBRs. Do I get to all of the books in my TBR? No. So maybe this will be a better way for me to have some books that I could choose from, and there's some books and series in here that I'm really excited to start. And I've been watching a lot of Booktube content, and it's made me really in the mood to read. But yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. I've got my bevy of the day. So this is a de-alcoholized Mellow from Woolworths. I put in some chopped up strawberries as well as rosemary in here because I like it like that. But I am on a journey to stop drinking alcohol. So I am a social drinker, so I feel like I don't really have much to miss if I stop completely. However, I do like wine and I do like Merlot, so I'm trying to like find one that I can enjoy that does not include alcohol in it, because I actually don't like the feeling of like being tipsy. I never really get drunk, but I don't like that feeling. So I still want to be able to enjoy my wine and not have the after effects. But yeah, let's get into this video. So I've categorized the books on the side. I've got a classic that I've been meaning to like get into for years, but I think classics in general intimidate me, maybe because of the language, because I don't like to find it difficult to read a book that I'm trying to enjoy. And then I've got two middle grade books that I'm really excited for. I've got some romance contemporary books. I've got YA fantasy, which I haven't read a YA fantasy in such a long time, and I've got so many YA fantasy books that are on my shelves and I need to get to. I've got two thrillers, I've got 4 sci-fi, and then the rest are fantasy. Fantasy is always gonna like hold the biggest weight in any TBR that I do. So first up, I've got a very pretty copy and I can't wait to complete the collection, and that is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I don't know if these books are meant to be read in any kind of order, but I feel like I will start with this one because it is the most well-known, I feel, and I absolutely love these covers. I feel like these covers are new, but I'm trying to collect now all of Jane Austen's books in these very girly, very floral kind of covers. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think I also have a copy of, is it Sense and Sensibility? I feel like it's here somewhere and I will find it one day. And then in terms of middle grade, I'm not gonna read any synopses for any of these books because I want to go into them blind. I've got Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is the first book in a very popular, very well-loved middle grade, and I had started it, I think like page 36, but it is a book that I want to finish, and hopefully by the end of the year I would have picked up the rest of the series as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to falling in love with Nevermore. I love reading middle grade books. I think they're very sweet, whimsical, funny, and they just fill you with so much hope. So yeah, can't wait to finish this one. And then I've got a second book in a middle grade that I really enjoyed, book 1, and I didn't know when book 2 was going to come out. So I'm so happy that I've got this one. I think it's the second book, I have no idea also, but I really like the story. I love the illustrations in it, I love the humor in it, and this is a hardcover. It's such a beautiful copy as well. My daughter is absolutely like obsessed with it and she can't even read it yet. But this is Peanut Jones and the 12 Portals. So the story of Peanut Jones follows our main character Peanut, who loves to draw. Her father also was very good at drawing and used to draw her little like characters to take with when she goes to school every day. And then one day her father disappears and she finds this magical pencil that could bring to life anything that she draws. So they start going on this adventure, her and her little sister, Little Bit. The little sister's name is Little Bit. And they're just so cute, and they meet this friend as well that they travel with. So it's really fun. It's a very fun story to read. I feel like young readers would really enjoy the story. It's very magical, it's mystery filled as well. So it's the journey. I absolutely love the story. And then let's get into some contemporary. So a book that I am currently reading on my Kindle. So on my Kindle, I'm just gonna show you the book that I'm reading now, but I do have a couple of books on my radar that I am looking forward to borrowing from my library. This is also a library hold, and I absolutely love this author's work, and I've really enjoyed the last two books that I read from them. So this was also something for me to like get into. They primarily, from what I've read, so they write like contemporary romance but filled with magical elements and sometimes supernatural, but I absolutely love it. This is the kind of story where you willingly suspend your belief and you go with it. And when I started like reading this book, I was just like, oh, this is gonna be nice. And it is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. Ashley Poston also wrote The Dead Romantics, which I loved, and The 7-Year Slip, which I recently listened to and also loved. So I really love the way that she writes her romance. I love the way that she puts down her stories, the way that she writes in general, like her writing style I really enjoy, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Now I understand why the story is called a novel love story. I didn't get it in the beginning, but I think, which chapter am I on? Let me see how far I am in this book. I was reading it this morning and all I want to do is just get back to the story because I think it's so good. I'm on page 40, so I haven't even like gotten that far, but then our main character has started to kind of figure out that things don't seem all the way right in this little town that she found herself stranded in, and she's trying to figure out if this is like some kind of game, if somebody is pranking her, or if this is reality, and if it is reality, what does that mean for her? But so excited. I'm being very vague about it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I want whoever is gonna go into the story to have the same experience that I'm having with it, like having no idea whatsoever what this book is about. But yeah, I'm really excited to finish this one. And then I've got two books by the same author, and this is a South African based author, and these are our September to October book club reads for the Fully Booked Book Club, which is an online book club that we run over on the Bookclub's app, run by myself, Ufuvu, Nontli, and Umpile, the same ladies that I do monthly reading sprints with. So please join us if you have these books. But we are reading Sunshine and Shadows by Busisekile Khumalo, as well as the sequel Rubies and Rain. I'm told that these read very fast, which is why we decided to read both of them. But it seems like the kind of book that you want to read together with other people so that you can have somebody to discuss it with. So yeah, I've got these two on my radar. And then let's get into some thrillers, or maybe rather mystery thrillers, because I feel like Megan Miranda is more like of a domestic mystery thriller writer, and I've enjoyed a book that I've previously read from her. This one I got from the library, so I need to make sure that I'm done reading it by the 18th of September because I need to return it. And this will be like one of those rare moments where I read all the books that I've borrowed from the library and return them in time, because that's never happened ever since I joined the library. I did finish The Stone Sky, which was also a library hold. So yeah, I'm on a good roll and I'm very proud of myself. But we've got All the Missing Girls by Megan Miranda. I have no idea what the story is about. I don't really want to know what it's about. I picked it up solely because of the title and that it's written by Megan Miranda, because I know I've enjoyed her mysteries before, and the tagline says no one ever just disappears, so I don't care to know what else it's about. And then another author that really intrigued me when I read, I don't know if it was their first book, but it was a book that I read from them, and that was, I want to check if they, yes, so the book first of all, the book is House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. This cover is giving everything. And they also wrote The Year of the Witching, which I absolutely enjoyed when I read it. So when I saw this, and I'm like, I need to pick up this copy because I've been looking forward to reading it ever since it came out. So I'm excited to have it in my hands. I'm excited to have it on this TBR, and when I'm craving a bit of thriller, I am looking forward to getting into it. Alright, and then the next stack we are doing is my YA fantasy. Like I said, I haven't read a lot of YA fantasy in a bit, and the last one I read I did not enjoy as much. So I've got the first 3 books in a series. I thought this was initially a trilogy, but it sounds like there might be more. I have no idea. I haven't done any research, but it doesn't matter right now. But I've recently watched Olivia Reads a Latte, and she was reading books recommended by other booktubers. She talked about this story, and I've been having it on my radar for a while. I've had the first book for a while, and I recently got book 2 and 3, and I'm just looking forward to reading it. It's the kind of series that I'm looking forward to binging, and that is, I don't know, what is the name of the series? Let's just start there. Okay, I think the series is named after the first book, which is called This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi, and the whole trilogy is basically in the running for me to pick up between September and November. And yeah, I can't wait. I know springtime is meant to be like flowery romance types like books, but that's not the genre I read in. Okay, I read fantasy, so for me every month is like fantasy filled, but this one I think is probably like a romantic element to it, so we've got a bunch of fantasy romance as well. But I've heard great things about this series and I have no idea what it's about, but I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know, but it is definitely books that I want to pick up very, very soon. So yeah, out of the YA, this is the one that I feel like I want to pick up as soon as possible. And then I've got 2 books also in a series. Also, I've heard good things about it. I feel like this is YA, but also I feel like I'm not 100% sure. I've got Defy the Night, and then I've got Defend the Dawn by Bridget Camera. And oh, I don't know, I'm excited for this one. This is the same author that wrote the Curse Breaker series, which include A Curse So Dark and Lovely, A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. I haven't read that series. I don't think I'm really much interested in reading that one, but I think I'm really interested in this specific, I can't speak, this specific series by them. So I'm really looking forward to it. Oh gosh, I don't even know which books I'm gonna start with, because now every time I pick up a book to show you guys, I'm just like, I want to read that very soon. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I need more time to pick up all these books. I have very gorgeous YA fantasy books that just released recently. Is Goddess Crown, and this one is by Shade Lapite or Lapite, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, and it says Girl Rebel Queen. I mean, stunning, stunning, stunning. This is also another one that is on my radar to pick up very soon, also because it's quite short. Hey, it's very, very short. It's 200, maybe 300 pages, just under 300 pages, unless this is an epilogue. About 302 pages. Really, really short, something that will be quite a quick read. I still want to try and push and see how many books I can read this year, and I want to push to read as much as possible. And books like this really, really help because they read so quickly, and it's just easily books that you could probably read in a day if you have like the time, which I hope for, but never comes. Okay, and then we've got the sci-fi stack, which includes just 4 books. I don't have a lot of sci-fi books, but I am busy with my collection. Okay, a series that I've been dying to continue with, and I have no excuses. I have no excuses because it's one of my favorite series of all time. I don't know what the actual reason is to have me not continue. Like, I don't know if I'm scared to finish or get up to date, that I have nothing left to read from the story. I don't know. I think, like, I don't know if like I'm scared of being disappointed, being hurt by certain characters being killed off. But I'm talking about the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. I've got books 4 and 5. So we've got Iron Gold, which I've already read, but I'm in between my reread. Okay, and I paused my reread. I still have my audiobook on Everand that is not completed because I feel like I rushed myself when I read it the first time, and then I reread it and I wanted to pick up the physical book more, but it didn't happen, so I paused it again. And now I want to go back to it. I'm like, do I start from scratch? Or do I continue from where I am? Because I know what happened. But at the same time, like, it's Pierce Brown. It doesn't hurt to start from scratch. And then another thought popped into my head today, like, should I start from book 1? Should I reread Red Rising? And like, this is how, like, this is why I'm like, I don't know. I don't have answers as to why I have not continued with the series, but I cannot let the year pass me by without at least getting to Dark Age. I've heard from some people that Dark Age is one of their favorites, or their favorite from the second set of the trilogy. I don't have book 5 yet, and I believe that book 6, no, what is this? This is 4, this is 5. I don't have book 6 yet, and I'm hearing, or at some point I had researched that book 7 should be out by the end of this year, but I haven't checked anticipated releases in a while, and I actually don't know if the book 7 is coming out this year still or not. But I really want to get to Dark Age. I really want to get to Dark Age. I'm missing the kind of like high stakes, high paced, like dangerous situations that Pierce Brown puts you in when you're in the series. Like, I miss being obsessed with a book. I miss being obsessed with characters and the storyline, and I'm just like, I need to go back to Red Rising. So I'm like, do I go back all the way to like get to book 1, maybe just listen to the audiobooks of book 1 to 3 and then reread book 4 again? Or do I just start at book 4 and then continue on? Let me know. I think maybe if I end up like struggling and not having any like audiobooks to read, which is actually not a real issue because I have tons that I've saved. I have no excuses. Okay, let me leave it. This is gonna be a long discussion that I don't even think I'm gonna be able to solve now. But a book that I have no idea what it's about. I read a bit of it at the end, but I think the thing that intrigues me about like having to pick this up is there's a series by this author that I really want to read, but I cannot for the life of me like find it, and that is Sylvain Neuvel. Sylvain Neuvel is the author's name, and they've written this series including The Sleeping Giant is book 1, Waking Gods and Only Human I don't know what they call the name. The Themis Files, that's the name of that trilogy. Heard great things about it. I really want that trilogy. I really want to read it. There was a time that I got a copy of Only Humans from the library, not realizing that it's book 3. I was so disappointed, and they don't have copies of book 1 and 2, so I'm planning on going to another local library of mine to check, but if I can't find them, I should probably actually check on my Libby app. If I can't find these books and borrow it from my Libby, then I can read it on my Kindle. I'm gonna check that. But I picked up this one. It's called A History of What Comes Next. So it kind of intrigued me. It says, always run, never fight, preserve the knowledge, survive at all costs, take them to the stars. So it says Mia, a 19-year-old girl, is sent by OSS to find Wernher von Braun. Her mission is to stop the Russians getting hold of Germany's and the world's foremost rocket scientist, right? Von Braun is suspicious, and so he should be. For Maya is no ordinary girl. She only looks human. And helping the Allies win the Second World War is only one part of her plan. Like, I was just like, I'm not really into like World War stuff, but I'm just like, I'm intrigued by the fact that she's been sent to find this scientist, I guess to stop him from being able to launch this rocket into space, but to find out that she's not even human. We don't know if she's alien, we don't know if she's a robot. All we know is that she looks human, and that's just intriguing enough for me, and I don't even want to know any more from it. It's also a short one. It's like under 300 pages. Oh, they even have a playlist for you. There's literally 46 songs. No, 60. There's 60 songs to listen for each chapter. That is interesting. Okay. It helps to look at the back of the book, children. So yeah, this is like under 300 pages, so it's also another one that I think I could knock out of the park quite quickly if I give myself the energy for it. But I'm trying to get back in the groove of like reading physically. The next book I've got is Lyra and Wakes. The light is very bright. Lyra and Wakes by James S.A. Corey, and this is book 1 in the Expanse series. I want to watch the Expanse series, but I feel like I want to read the books first, and I think it's high time that I pick up the books. Last year I started collecting the books. I've got books 1 to 3, but then I had to stop myself because I'm like, I haven't even read this series. What if I don't like it? And then I've got all 8 of the books. Like, what does that mean for me? And also the author has come out with a brand new book in, I believe, a duology, and I'm just like, I need to really get onto this first series before I even look at the new one. Okay, and then for the fantasy stack, we've got a lot of books. We've got a lot of romantasy in here, but maybe let's start with one that I'm in the middle of. This is my current read. I've got about 2 hours worth of audiobook left of this book, and this is The Ashes and the Star-Crossed King, and not crossed, and the Star-Cursed King. This is by Carissa Broadband, and it is the second book in the Nightborn duet and a book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, which I realized that she's coming out with a new book in the series, and I'm just like, the girl is busy. Okay, she's writing, she's busy. This is a vampire inspired story, and we're mainly following the perspective in book 1 of a human living with a vampire king who happens to be her father. So I say father because he found her kind of like in a ruin and took care of this kid, raised her, trained her how to like fight against vampires and all that. So in book 1, her goal is to win this very well-known competition that is mainly entered by vampires to fight each other and come out triumphant, and whoever comes out triumphant usually is in line to take over as king. and they've got different houses and they've got representatives from each of those houses entering this competition. And usually when somebody from that specific house will win the Kajari, then they become the rulers. But there's a lot more that happens in there. There's a lot of like secrets and mysteries that unfold while you read the book, so I can't really say too much about it because where I am in the story, there's a lot of things that have now unfolded, a lot of secrets that have been revealed and some questions answered, especially towards the strength of our main character, because I was just like, it makes no sense. It makes no sense how you as a human, no matter how much you've trained, can be able to defeat vampires the way that you do. Okay, so yeah, I'm like really enjoying the series. Book 1 I gave about a 4.5 star rating. Book 2 is feeling more like a 4-star rating, but I don't know if it's because I'm consuming it more on audio, and this is why I don't want to just listen to audiobooks, especially of fantasy and sci-fi. I need to read the books physically. When it comes to like any other genre, it's like I'm good to go, but if there's fantastical elements to it, I really want to spend a lot of time with the physical book as well. The next book I got is not actually the correct one that I should be holding, but I cannot find book 3. I need to get to Airfire by Sarah J. Maas. That is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series. This is actually book 4, Empire of Storms, but I cannot find my copy of Airfire. It's probably, if it's not on the shelves, then still somewhere in the box. But this is actually only book 5, so yeah, my plan is to read Airfire. I've started the first 2 books, really enjoyed them. I could tell that it is one of her earliest works, but I still enjoy the storyline of it, so I can't wait to go back into the story. This is the only Sarah J. Maas book series that I have not touched. So, well, I have touched obviously book 1 and 2, but like haven't like finished yet. And yeah, I'm really enjoying where the story is going, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then in the spirit of continuing with series, I've got Gleam by Raven Kennedy. This is book 3 in the Plated Prisoner series, and I read book 1, really enjoyed it. I read book 2, really threw me down. I've been watching YouTube videos lately and people talking about the series, and I've been hearing a lot of messages that things get better in Gleam, and also the romance element of the story really picks up from here, because this is a fantasy romance, but we haven't really gotten a lot of the romance, so it's like really slow burn, like extremely slow burn. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back into the story and getting to a point where I'm enjoying it again, because there's now book 6 that came out. I think it's called Gold, so I really need to work on getting up to date with the series. And then a new release, which is a cozy fantasy that I'm looking forward to, is Can't Spell Treason Without T, and this one is by Rebecca Thorne. They say it's a cozy fantasy steeped in love. I love me some cozy fantasy. I see a dragon on the cover, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. It says palace politics just weren't their cup of tea. So they left the palace. There's 2 women who leave the palace to go open their own tea/bookshop, and the way that it is explained in the synopsis, it just sounds so cozy and nice and just the kind of place that I would want to visit. So I'm looking forward to reading this one, and I can't wait to share my experience with you guys during one of my reading vlogs. And then continuing with the fantasy romance, because we got a lot of that going on here. I've got Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. I kind of sampled this one maybe like a week or 2 ago, and I'm like, this sounds like it's gonna be good. Okay, so I need to finish whatever it is I'm reading right now, close off the open books that I've got going on, so that I can give all of my attention to this here book. But it's giving like demons, it's giving demon kings and some romance. Like I don't know, but I've heard really good things about Karen Maniscalco's writing style, so I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to getting into the story. And a book that has been on my anticipated releases this year. This is also like, I feel like I've got a couple of books that have been on my anticipated releases this year, and I'm happy that I'm getting to them. Although there are some backlist books that I'm trying to also finish up. I've got The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. Leigh Bardugo, I've tried myself out with the Shadow and Bone trilogy after watching the show, and I never really went back to any of the books. I did try Ninth House, but I think I was probably not in the right space to be reading Ninth House, so I still have to go back to that duology. But now we've got this standalone, The Familiar, and I thought maybe a standalone is a great place to be with Leigh Bardugo, so I can read something that I can start and know that I finish. Then I will ease myself back into the rest of the works that they've done, because I still want to read the whole of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, finish that. I want to read Six of Crows, and I want to still go back to the King of Scars duology. So they've got, and obviously Ninth House. That's like everything that Leigh Bardugo has written. So I've got a long way to go, and I'm happy to be starting here. And a book that was borrowed to me by Katleho, and it is a vampire story that I've been looking forward to reading. Like, she tabbed it, she loved this one. And it's A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, and it says desire, obsession, control. Alexis Henderson has blurred it and said that it is thrilling and seductive, and I just can't wait. At the back it says, this is my last love letter to you, though some would call it a confession. I don't want to know what we are confessing to in this one. It is a very short story, so I don't even want to read the synopsis and spoil myself of what's to come. And then I've got a first book in a trilogy, also very well loved, and it is Caraval by Stephanie Garber, also known for the very purple prose, but I've never read anything from Stephanie Garber. I see it is kind of like multimedia. In here there's like letters, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This is the first book in a trilogy. Are they gonna tell me what the name of the trilogy is? Because I have no idea. No, I don't think they do. Nope. This is well within the story. I have no idea what this trilogy is called, but yeah, this is Caraval book 1. These are the copies that I'm collecting for the series, so I want to collect the rest of them in this as well. So it says, remember, it's all a game. What happens beyond this gate may frighten or excite you, but don't let any of it trick you. So I don't even know. That doesn't tell me anything, and it's fine. I'm fine with that. The second Lost trilogy that I would like to get into and hopefully finish before the end of the year is the Mistborn trilogy, era 1 of Mistborn. So we've got the Final Empire, we've got the Will of Ascension, and then we've got the Hero of Ages. So this is what they look like. I kind of am bothered but that the two books don't match that one. It may look like they match. Trust me, they don't. They don't, because if you look at that, the trilogy name is not even in the same place for book 1 and for book 2 and 3. So for book 1 it's written there at the top, and then for book 2 and 3 it's written just underneath the title of the book. But also, if you have a look for books 2 and 3, the characters are at the forefront of the cover, while as in Empire, the Final Empire, it's more kind of like the background, and I really prefer this cover. But I'm not gonna change them because it's such small details, but they're big. But it's small details, okay? I'm not gonna change it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading Mistborn and getting myself, is it in the Cosmere? Because a lot of things happening in the Cosmere right now, and there's a new book that is coming out the latest release in the Cosmere series, or Cosmere World, I don't even know what it's called, but I need to get into it. And for me, it's like the only way to get into Brandon Sanderson is to start with Mistborn. I didn't want to go anywhere else, and then I can get into the Way of Kings and all the other books. The last trilogy that I've got here to show you is by V. Schwab, and that is the Shades of Magic series. So we've got A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, and A Conjuring of Light. This is one that I've been seeing for a while and I've been interested in getting into as well, so looking forward to reading it because I want to read the latest release, which I don't know the name of, but I want to read that. And I wanted to read this first because I believe that it's set in the same world as the Shades of Magic series. So yeah, I really want to get into the series and finish it before the end of the year. So guys, that's the end of this video. I've got a lot of books that are on my radar that I'm really looking forward to, and I can't wait to get into all these books. If you guys have made it this far in this video, please leave me a snake emoji for Dark Age by Piers Brown. I'm really excited to get into my Piers Brown world and being excited and just enthralled and just obsessed with the characters and the storyline of the Red Rising series. So yes, leave me a snake emoji if you've made it this far. Otherwise, leave me a comment letting me know which books are you most excited to see me read and talk about in my vlogs, and I will see you guys in my next one. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.